答えを望んでるとかじゃないからさ。せめてちょっとだけこうさせて。
Hey guys, it's Ash here with WatchMojo, and these are the top 20 times anime guys finally got the girl.
Good luck. Bye.
For this list, we'll be looking over the times where anime guys, be they bold leads or anxious side characters, finally earned the affection of their dream girls. Be on the lookout for smooches and spoilers down the line, and let us know in the comments who you feel is the ultimate anime power couple.
Hey Mojoholics! For a chance to win cash prizes, play our live daily trivia challenges every day at 3 p.m. and 8 p.m. Eastern only at WatchMojo.com/play.
Number 20, Haruo and Akira, high school girl. Turns out gaming can really bring people together. Starting off as the fiercest of gaming rivals, the brash and outspoken Haruo eventually finds himself falling for his silent opponents over the years. While their love for arcades never dwindles, their relationship continues to shift as hormones and life threatens to drag them apart. However, with some wise words from Street Fighter's Guile, Haruo was able to go the distance and earn himself the true best ending when he promised to always love Akira no matter what. Number 19, NFIREA and ENRI, Overlord. Turns out all you really need to do to win the heart of a fair maiden is risk your life against a troll. Who would have guessed it? While silently pining for the strong-willed ENRI from the sidelines, as well as behind that overhanging fringe of his, NFIREA finally got his chance when he tried to sacrifice himself for her sake, the aftermath of which launched him from the friend zone all the way to prime boyfriend material.
それが好きってことなのかな。
僕にはわからないや。でも、だとしたら嬉しいな。
Careful, Niffy. Any more charm and you might find yourself warming the village chief's bed next.
男としての格が違う。
でも、私が好きなのはそんなアンフィーだよ。
Number 18, Yuta and Moriko. Recovery of an MMO junkie. See, it's not just adolescents who struggle with crossing that threshold from unnerved neat to responsible adults. Sometimes the adults do it as well.
どうぞ、そのまま。
Going through something of a midlife crisis, Moriko throws herself into an MMO world, only to form a deep friendship with another player online she believes to be a woman. Only, shock horror, it turns out he's a handsome guy that she's met before.
俺がリリーだからです。
It certainly takes a while, but as both their online and offline relationship progresses, the two gaming nerds find a way to try and make it work, adorable as they are.
お風呂も綺麗にしておいてよかったってそうじゃなくて、うちのお風呂狭いからって違う。そうじゃない。
Number 17, JP and Sonoshi, Red Line. You'd think that a cool cat like JP would have all manner of intergalactic babes wanting to ride his hyperdrive. After all, just look at that magnificent hair.
So, mind if I join you?
Actually, I'm waiting for someone.
Yeah, me too. Go figure.
However, the only one he's ever had the eyes for is the galaxy's infamous Cherry Boy Hunter. After finding themselves competing in the deadly planetary race known as Red Line, the two not only get to show off their slick driving skills, but also find time to admit they've both got the hots for each other.
Ready?
Winning the greatest race in the universe with the girl of your dreams on your lap certainly makes for one hell of a first date.
Sonoshi, I love you.
I love you too.
Number 16, GORO and ICHIGO. Darling in the Franxx. There's nothing more satisfying than seeing the best boy turn into a man.
俺さ、イチゴのこと好きみたいだ。
While very much aware that Ichigo had feelings towards Captain Bland Hiro, Goro was still willing to keep his silence for the sake of their friendship and her happiness.
答えを望んでるとかじゃないからさ。せめてちょっとだけ。
That is, until Hiro suddenly fell in love with the sassy hybrid 02, who then turned into a spaceship and promptly flew off into another dimension. Don't ask. As such, Goro stepped up to the plate in order to aid humanity's resurgence over the barren Earth, but not before putting the moves on Ichigo, you sly dog.
たまには連絡くらい。
Number 15, Shinichi and Ran. Detective Conan. Finally.
言ったじゃないの。私が空手の都大会で優勝したらトロピカルアートに連れてってくれるって。
After too many episodes to count, hundreds of cases, and countless examples of will they won't they, the world's most brilliant mind finally worked out how to be honest with the girl of his dreams, and win her heart in the process.
私たち付き合ってるってことでいいんだよね。
やべえ、すぐに返信して。
Sure, Ran doesn't exactly know about Shinichi's current situation and how he and the pint-sized Conan are one and the same, but the fact he was finally willing to cement their relationship is a milestone we didn't expect to see in our lifetime. A text has never been so romantic.
私たち付き合ってるってことでいいんだよね。
付き合ってるに決まってるだろ。
Number 14, KANEKI and TOUKA. Tokyo Ghoul.
TOUKAさん、恋人はやめろバカ。
Given everything the poor boy went through, from nearly being eaten by his date, turned into a half ghoul, and relentlessly tortured until his hair changed color, KANEKI was due a break.
あんた童貞？
Though, who would have guessed that his single moment of sweetness would be from his simmering crush, TOUKA? After being put through so much trauma, the two ghouls decide that they shouldn't waste any time denying their feelings, leading to a salaciously saucy night of passion and biting, lots of biting. Number 13, ANASUI and JOLYNE. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Stone Ocean. We knew from the get-go that ANASUI was down bad for Florida's resident JoJo. Not hard to see why. Her best girl status is plain for all to see. Though it's fair to say his particular art of wooing fell flat, with JOLYNE constantly rejecting his advances.
俺にキスしたいんだろ。でもいきなり舌を絡ませるやつ。
Turns out all it took for her to give him a chance was for all of creation to be rewritten.
乗りなよ坊や。怪しいものじゃないわ。
Following the events of Made in Heaven, we find that JOLYNE, or rather her parallel counterpart Irene, has found happiness with ANASUI's universal double. I guess you could call that a victory, somewhat?
どうなるかわからないけど、父さんさえ許してくれれば結婚するかも。私たち。
Number 12, KRILLIN and Android 18. Dragon Ball Z. Given the amount of times this guy was beaten, impaled, crippled, and outright blown up, it's only fair that he was the one to end up with the sexy blonde killer robot at the end of it all.
Good luck. Bye.
While he had originally planned to fry her with an insta-kill switch, KRILLIN just couldn't resist that tantalizing Terminator, choosing instead to spare her.
I guess you recognize this device?
Yes, I do.
Sure, this allowed Cell to achieve his perfect form and led to a whole lot of unnecessary deaths, but who cares? So long as KRILLIN got his well-earned celebratory booty call.
Well, actually, Goku, 18 and I have gotten married.
You mean you live in the same house as her?
Number 11, Okabe and Kurisu, Steins Gate. Admit it, you would risk the space-time continuum for her as well.
教えて。岡部の力になりたいの。
After finding a way to alter timelines by sending texts back to the past, resident mad scientist Okabe thinks he's found the means to rise up to the pinnacle of the science field, until it all comes crashing down when a sinister organization sends its enforcers to put the kibosh on the whole operation. Throughout all his time-hopping efforts to right this wrong, he finds a true companion in the fellow scientific prodigy, Kurisu.
そのことなんで急に
俺はお前が好きだ。
This all culminates in a truly tender confession when they both realize what they have to sacrifice in order to save Mayuri. Number 10, Naruto and Hinata. The last Naruto the movie. In spite of both the shinobi and shipping wars, Naruto's ultimate romance finally came to fruition in the most dazzling way possible. I mean, they dedicated a whole movie to it.
死ぬことなんて怖くない。私はナルト君が大好きだから。
While the future Hokage battling for his captured love on the surface of the moon was all kinds of thrilling,
終わりじゃねえ。なぜだ。
私の中にハムラのチャクラがあります。
the real draw here was Naruto finally coming to the realization of just how special Hinata truly is, and how her support had kept him going through his troubled years. It's impossible to not be swept up in the sheer majesty of that final moonlit kiss.
ひなた。
ナルト君。
Number 9, Shinji and Mari, rebuild of Evangelion series. Speaking of shipping wars, while we're sure many were left confused and annoyed that Shinji's chosen love interest was neither Rei or Asuka, we can't deny that seeing him get out of the robots and find his own happy ending pretty much made the rebuild verse worthwhile.
誰だ。
わかんないよ。
ヒント。屋上、メガネ、父の大きい、いい女。
パラシュートの。
ごめでとう。自己紹介まだだったね。私はマリ。巻波マリ・ラストリアス。
Mari herself is a funny, spunky, and downright spicy character, and seeing the two of them get their flirts on right up until that Anno of Anno endings is genuinely sweet.
お待たせ。シンジ君。
Look at Shinji channeling his inner Misato. Good for him.
君こそ相変わらず可愛いよ。
Number 8, Sato and Todoroki. Working. While a restaurant is the last place you'd expect to find heartfelt confessions, these two crazy kids still find a way to make it happen.
すまん、酔った。いや、酔ってない。やりすぎたが、そういうことだ。
While originally coming across as the too cool for school kind of guy, Sato nonetheless manages to cut through all of the show's running gags in order to land a pretty suave bombshell about his feelings towards the katana-wielding chief of staff.
俺はお前が好きだ。お前にもっと外の世界を見てほしい。から、俺と一緒に。
One that she promptly returns. It's cute enough to almost make you forget they probably left a lot of customers waiting for their food.
迷惑かけて悪かったな。
全く良くなってない。
Number 7, King and DIANE. The 7 Deadly Sins. There's no shortage of fantasy hanky-panky going on in this world, but for our buck, there's only one pairing that we were rooting for all throughout, and it was for the Fairy King to finally earn the affection of his gentle giantess. Despite suffering numerous bouts of amnesia, DIANE eventually recalls everything King had done for her, leading to a sweet series of confessions that was utterly adorable.
200年前の約束を守ってくれたお礼かな。
So much so it made us totally forget about King's atrocious future wardrobe or that terrible animation.
君をずっと好きでいるし、そばにいるよ。
Number 6, Hachiman and Yukiko, my teen romantic comedy SNAFU. Turns out that even Hachiman's immense cynicism wasn't enough to completely disregard the idea of falling in love, and he could do a lot worse than having his heart stolen by the ultimate Ice Queen.
突っ立ってないで座ったら。
はい、すいません。
While Yui was also a worthy candidate for his affections, Yukiko's own bluntness and unsavory elements allowed the two to work off each other tremendously, both comedically and tragically.
どんなに面倒くさくてもいい。厄介でもいい。逆にそこがいいまである。
We're honestly not sure how he pulled it off, but the two ultimately decided that whatever misery they'll face, they'd rather do so together. And coming from Hachiman, that's pretty much the most romantic thing he could have said.
あなたが好きよ、引きがやくん。
Number 5. Inuyasha and Kagome. Inuyasha. From the moment we first saw this high school girl squeeze this half-demon stock ears, we knew they were destined to end up together.
I think I wanna touch him.
That, and the countless number of filler episodes and love hexagons. Starting off as traveling companions in search of the infamous Shikon Jewel, the two gradually became closer with each and every one of Naraku's subordinates they brought down.
Does it bug you that Koga said he loved me? Is that it? Don't tell me you're jealous.
Why would I be jealous of that jerk?
Of course, it wasn't until the final act, a decade later, that they actually managed to seal the deal. Puppy love.
It's not an illusion.
Number 4. Ryuji and Taiga. Toradora. There's a lesson to be learned here, folks. Even if you have a face like a pissed off bear, and the girl you like prefers to punch said face in, there's still hope for you. While these two fought like cats and dogs for the better half of the series, it soon dawned on them that instead of setting each other up with their respective crushes, they were actually starting to warm up to one another.
俺はお前が
ちょっと待った
From there, it wasn't long until the dragon managed to get himself some lip-locking action with his precious tiger. Hope all those smooches made up for the time she knocked your teeth in, Ryuji.
One more time.
Number 3. Subaru and Emelia. ReZero starting life in another world. Even if you still feel the pain from Subaru's rejection of Rem, you have to give the lad credit for sticking true to his heart and pursuing his beloved she-elf.
絶対の絶対助けたりなんかしないんだから。
怒った顔もすげえ可愛いな。
Even throughout his numerous deaths, rebirths, and other soul-shattering experiences, Subaru never lost sight of his love for Emelia.
俺はただ君のために。
そうやって何もかも私のためだって嘘をつくのはやめてよ。
So much so that he was able to power on through and convince her that she wasn't only worthy of love, but that his feelings were beyond the pale of genuine. Now that takes commitment. Number 2. Miyuki and Kaguya. Kaguya-sama, love is war. Pride comes before fall, and fall these two did. Fall so hard for each other that they were left in a constant cycle of trying to get the other to confess first.
会長、花火の日言わなくちゃ。ありがとうって。
In spite of their various schemes, Miyuki ultimately chose to pull out all the stops before graduation, and while the words weren't exactly spoken, the gesture itself made it obvious just how he felt about Kaguya. So many failed attempts, so much frustration and false hope, and it all came to a head with one of the most romantic declarations we've seen in anime. Talk about a payoff.
また勝負だな、篠宮。
はい、会長。私がこっち座るの。
いや前回俺こっちだったから。
そんなの関係ないでしょ。もう二人とも争うならゲームでお願いしますね。
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Ed and Winry, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood.
今度
It took him his arm, his leg, and nearly getting punched out by God, but eventually the older Elric managed to cross that final hurdle by confessing to the girl next door. Several years down the line, and with the lamest confession in anime, mind you, but hey, it still worked wonders.
10日交換だ。俺の人生半分やるから、お前の人生半分くれ。
With the homunculi and father far behind them, the former Fullmetal Alchemist and Miss Rockbell finally decided to transmutate some lovey-doveyness into their lives. The fact he finally grew a couple of inches couldn't have hurt.
元気もらった。ありがとな。行ってくる。
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.